Welcome back to the channel, fat boys. I am up here at Black Bear Harley-Davidson, and I am now going to be doing a test ride and review of the Street Bob 2022 114. First of all, give a huge shout out to Black Bear Harley-Davidson up here in Wytheville, Virginia. It is amazing for them to let me come on by here and just hop on some bikes. I'm so grateful for you guys. You guys are allowing me to do this, no questions asked. It's truly a blessing, and I'm so happy you guys are allowing me to do that. So I have ridden this 114 before, but what I ended up doing was it actually was the very first video I ever did on the channel, and I actually didn't even have any talking points about the bike because I didn't know how to record audio into a GoPro yet. I figured it'd be, since it's been just about a year I've been doing the channel, so now we will go ahead and do a actual test ride and review of this bike. I do have a 32-inch inseam and my feet are firmly planted nice and flat on there. I am sitting nice and comfortably. Seat's a little bit tiny but it is pretty cushiony. It feels really good. You got these little mini apes right here. They come up perfectly to my shoulders. They feel nice and good. You got your instrument cluster, you got your speedometer, you got your mileage, you got your gas range, you got all your indications. We got the engine light and the oil sign on because it hasn't been started yet. We got neutral. This little circular thing goes through the different menus that you got there. You got your trip A, trip B, you got your range left on here, and then you got your clock, and then you also got RPM, so you can easily see your speed and your RPM happening through there. I think I'm gonna leave it in there. And then got your high beams, you got your flashers, you got your little horn, you got your left and right arrow. Then you got your hazards, you got your kill switch, and then you got your on switch. And then you also have your starter, which we can go ahead and start on up. It's in neutral. Bike does come with some mid pegs, a little bit tight, but that's kind of the point you're going within here. We got the clutch nice and relaxed. It's a little bit of a cool day, so let's go ahead and get on started, shall we? Man, I forget just how light this bike is. Feels absolutely ridiculous with this 114 in it sometimes. This bike feels so tiny. I am 5'11" and I weigh about 240 pounds. I'm a pretty good sized guy, not the smallest, but man, this bike is tiny sized. It feels like this is a very flickable bike. Heck yeah, man. Ooh, you feel that rumble right underneath you. It's a very bare bones bike, which I like. I like having a bare bones bike. I like having just the bare minimum aesthetic because you get the most grunt out of it type of thing. This is probably the best bang for your buck Softail from Harley-Davidson. And so it really does just, when you get on it, oh, you feel that engine working underneath you. Woo, boy. Yeah, man, this thing it has a good amount of pep. It's not crazy. It's not as crazy as I first thought it was in my first time riding this. My riding has advanced more, but it still has plenty of power. The 114 on literally the lightest Softail Harley has to offer, and it's the lightest just because it's the smallest. It has one of the smallest gas tanks. It has nothing else on it, and it's just really bare bones, which I really like. And downshifting is super easy. Everything feels really nice and planted on this bike. The turning feels really strong on here. It feels like it's super flickable. The rake isn't that far out, so it really just does turn into these corners really easily. More downside about this bike, and especially on a day like today, it's super windy, it's lighter, so it's gonna move around just a little bit more. But man, I'll tell you what, I like this bike a lot. It's moving, it holds its own. You're gonna be probably one of the first ones to have to fill up, but it's holding its own. We got a nice little straightaway. Just drop a couple gears. Fourth gear. Let's do 50-mile-an-hour pull. Oh yeah, man. Woo! Oh my god, guys, for what you get with the buck on this bike, you really can't go wrong, because this is one of the cheapest bikes you can buy, and it is such a great starting platform on the Softail frame. You can take this in any direction you want. And I love that about this bike. Sometimes I wish I was able to think more things through, and I wish I knew what I did now, so I would have been able to get this bike. I love this bike, man. And I'm going highway speeds right now. This feels perfectly fine. And let's even hop on the highway so you guys can see. Braking feels just a little bit soft. Could be a little bit better, but I mean, that is because it is only a single disc up in the front. So, I mean, it is the lighter bike, so it can, I guess, kind of get away with the single disc. But you do kind of wish you had the dual disc with the front, with the 114 on this bike. Woo, you feel that wind though, man, with no wind protection on here. Oh my God. I feel like I'm a parachute. Woo, now we're getting off the highway. Dang, man. You can do highway speeds, but you're gonna be hurting when you're starting to get up there. This is no fairing, so you're feeling all the right on the chest, especially with the seating style. But especially with the seating position, you're just taking the full brunt of that wind on your chest. And it doesn't help that it is an extremely windy day out right now. But there is a really sharp turn up here I do have to take, so just to kind of show you the handling this bike is able to make. Right here. Super nice, not even scraping. Okay, let's hop back over to the shop and I'll continue my final thoughts on the bike and who I really think this bike is for. Totally awesome bike. This is so much fun. It's a smaller bike, so if you're a really large person, this isn't really the bike for you. I feel like anyone taller than me is gonna start to feel really cramped. Even I start to feel a little bit cramped on it. I'm 5'11" again, so it's starting to get there. If you're at 6 foot and above, it's gonna be pretty hard to have to ride this bike. I really do think this bike is a lot more geared toward the people that are going to be a little bit more inner city, maybe a little bit of long distance, but not a lot. You're not gonna want to go from state to state to state type of thing, or do your long hauls on this bike. This is a lot more like an powerful bar hopper in a way. It's a little bit comfortable. If you need to, you can throw someone on the back with the pillion seat, and you got the foot, and you got the extra pillion foot pegs too. But it's not the ideal bike for 2-up riding. It's not the ideal bike for long distance riding. But what it is good for is the out in the canyon riding, having fun on a light bike, carving it up, and just having fun with your friends. Man, this is an awesome bike. It's an amazing starting platform. You can take it in so many directions, and I love it for that. Again, I want to say a huge shout out to Black Bear Harley-Davidson. Thank you for allowing me to ride this bike, and thank you for allowing me to ride so many other bikes that are coming out very soon. So if you found this video informative in any way, make sure you go ahead and hit that thumbs up button if you like it. That helps out too. Make sure you go ahead and share this video with any of your friends that are potentially looking at this bike. And if you aren't already, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you ring that bell notification. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.